Hello friends, welcome to this video series on arithmetic. In this session, we will delve upon in simple interest and compound interest and look into the concepts of installments because which is very practical and many a times questions have been seen on this topic, and this is slightly difficult as compared to the other concepts of compound interest and simple interest. So let us look into this through illustrations. Now, the question says if Mukesh has launched a new geophone priced at rupees 15,000 as a promotional scheme, a customer can buy it in cash at rupees 15,000 or or rupees 3,000 cash down payment followed by three equal installments. If rate of interest charged is 24% per annum simple interest, calculate the monthly installment amount. A few points to be noted here. First, the cost of the phone is 15,000. There are two way of making the payment. One, either we can make a full payment in 15,000, or there is another option wherein a customer can make a down payment of 3,000 rupees and then pay the remaining amount in three equal installments. However, that three equal installments will also include certain interest charged at 24% per annum simple interest, right? So basically this installment will be based upon simple interest. Calculate the monthly installment amounts. So there are two methods actually to solve this. There are two methods. So method one I discuss first. So let us see what happens. Cost price of phone is 15,000 and down payment is 3,000, right? So what is the loaned amount? So from here we can say loan amount is nothing but 15,000 minus 3,000, which is 12,000, right? Loan amount is 12,000. So basically for our purpose of calculation of installment, the principal is 12,000 rupees. Now let us see what happens. Suppose or let us take it as a there is a bank. I mean there is a account of a person in a bank, right? In that account, what happens? I mean first of all there would be a loan account and then a deposit account, right? There can be two accounts. So in loan account it says that bank has given a loan of 12,000 rupees. So this 12,000 will be, let us say, negative, meaning the person, let us the customer here they owe this fund and that is to be repaid. So 12,000 is there and that is for how long? That is for three equal installments of monthly installment. So this is for 3 months, right? For 3 months. And then there is a deposit account. What happens? There would be a payment of the monthly installment. So at the end of first period, so let us say this is t is equal to 0, that is at the start of the period. Then at the end of the first period, there would be a payment of x amount. Then further at the end of second period, there would be a payment of x amount as installment, and at the end of third period there would be a payment of x amount into the deposit account, right? This can be taken construed like this, that a customer deposits x rupees in his deposit account as an installment. So now see, we have learned the concept of present value, future value, and the compounding, so which are all related to each other and in a broader sense the same thing. I mean the future value and the compounded interest, compound interest. So now see here, if this x is deposited here, x is deposited here in the first year, so at the end of the third year, at the end of the third year, the value of x will be what? X plus certain interest on x, right? Interest on x is simple interest, that is x into 24 by 100. Let us so make it 0.24 into time. Time is what? This is deposited here at the end of first period. So this x amount will earn an interest for the next two periods, right? So that means 2 upon 12 months, because that is in two period, this is in months, month. Similarly, this x period amount, second x amount, which is deposited at the end of second month, will be there in the deposit account of the person, a customer with a bank, and that will earn interest. That will earn interest at the rate of 24% per annum. So this becomes for 1 month, so 1 by 12 we can say, because this is being deposited at the end of second month, and we are seeing the things at the end of third month. So basically this x will be earning the interest only for 1 month in the bank account. So and now that this third x, this is being deposited at the end of the third period, and we are looking at the position, final position of the account of the customer in a bank at the end of the third period. So this will have no, I mean no additional interest, that's x only. So now see, what is the total value of this? Total value will be x plus x 3x plus this will become 0.06x. If we 2 will cancel in 2 and 6 times, 6 will cancel in 24.04 times. So this becomes 0.04x and this becomes 0.02x. So this will become 0.04 plus 0.02x, that is 0.06x. Right. This is at the end of third period. And similarly here, after 3 periods, the value of the 12,000 rupees, 12,000 rupees at the end of third period will be 12,000 into 1 plus what? 0.24 into 3 by 12 raised to power 3, right? Can we say this? What are we doing basically? This is nothing but the compound interest formula or the future value formula. Future value says, or the compound interest says ki here in period we are considering as a monthly period. So what is the interest per month? Interest per month is 24%, that is 0.24 is the annual rate. So per month it will be 1 by 12, and for 3 months it will be 3. So 1 plus 0.24 into 3 by 12 raised to power 3 for 3 periods. So this is the value of the loan account after 3 months, and this is the value of the deposit account after 3 months, after the earning on the interest. And now these two should be equal, these two should be equal. So if we equate these two, if we, because now see why it should be equal, because the bank has given a loan of 12,000. For that it is asking the customer to deposit x amount for 3 periods. So basically what happens now, the value of the loan account and the end of the third month, and the value of the all the installments at the end of the third month should be same, so that the loan gets fully cleared, right? So core concept here, we have to look at the things at the same point of time, at the same point of time. Either we could have seen at the end of the t is equal to 3, or at the beginning of the t at around t is equal to 1, right? So uh, then if we see this, this will become 12,000 1.06 raised to power 3 is equal to 3.06x. So if we solve this, this becomes 1 12 into 1.06. Sorry, mistake here, mistake. Here this is not, here this is not a compound interest, this is a simple interest. So this 12,000 will also grow at a simple interest. So what will be the value? Final amount 12,000 into 1 plus RT, right? R is 24%, that is 0.24, into T is 3 by 12, right? I use the formula P into R into T by 100, that gives the interest, and then add 12,000. So this will be the final amount. So this becomes 12,000 into 1.06, right? Into 1.06. So this will be nothing but 12,720 is equal to 3.06x. From here we can say x is equal to 12,720 upon 3.06, which is nothing but 4156.86 rupees. This is the answer to this question. Let us look upon this process once again. This is a very important and very intuitive also. We are doing a very intuitive thing. Let us see what are we doing. The bank has given a loan, right? Loan at the end of, I mean, in the during the first year, at the start of the first year. Let us see, at the start of the first year only, the bank has given a loan. What is the loan amount? 12,000 rupees. But it's going to charge an interest for 3 months, and bank has agreed to convert this into an installment. Okay. So if it was for 3 months, so we can look at this problem as the bank has given a loan to the customer as 12,000 rupees. So bank must have opened a loan account in the customer's name, which will be that account is for three months, right? So on the left hand side is the loan account, and then on the right hand side we will assume that there is a deposit account where the customer deposits x rupees at the end of first, second, and third month, right? At the end of first month it deposits x rupees, at the end of second month again deposits x rupees, and at the end of third month again deposit x rupees. Now the the value of this 12,000 rupees at the end of third month should be equal to the value of these deposits at the end of third month, right? Then only the loan will get clear. Loan is 12,000 rupees. So at the end of third month, if bank assumes ki depositing three amount of x rupees at first, second, and third month, will clear the 12,000. So meaning that future value or the value of the money at the end of the third year should be same in both the loan account and deposit account, right? That should be the interpretation. So now let us see what is the value of the loan account. Loan account is 12,000 rupees. That what is the value of 12,000 rupees at the end of third month? This we can see. I mean, 12,000 is given at a simple interest. So simple interest for 3 months should be 12,000 into 3, and rate is 24% per annum. So for 3 months this will be 0.24 into 3 by 12 into 12,000, and then add 12,000 back to that to get the final amount. So that becomes 12,000 into 1 plus 0.24 into 3 by 12. So that is 12,000 into 1.06, right? This is uh, the value of the loan account. Now the deposit account. At the during first year, at the end of the first year, the customer deposits x rupees in the deposit account, and we are seeing the position as on the end of the third month. So from the end of the first month to the end of the third month, that deposited x rupees will be earning some interest in the bank, the same rate of interest, that is 24%. So it will be earning interest for 2 months, right? So what will be the interest at simple interest? X into 0.24 into 2 by 12, p into r into t, right? That I have done. Similarly, the second installment which is deposited in the bank at the end of second period will be again amount x, and we are looking at the things at the end of third month. So again this x, second amount of x, will also earn interest at the rate of 24% per annum for 1 month. So p into r into t again we did, and then the third x which is being deposited at the end of third month, and we are looking at the final position at the end of third month. So it will not earn any money because the time we are depositing x amount, the same time we are looking at the final position. So here no interest will be accrued. Now if we add on this, so it becomes x plus x plus x 3x, and then if we solve this, this becomes 24 into 2 48 by 12 is 6, that is 0, zero 0.04, and this becomes 0.02x. So this becomes 0.06x. 3x plus 0.06x is 3.06x. Now we will equate this because uh, if loan has to be cleared, this installment should be enough to pay the loan of 12,000 rupees, and that way if we equate we get the value of the installment. That is the basic concept. Now method 2 we will see. Method 2 we will see. What is the principal amount? Principal amount is 12,000 rupees, and what is the interest amount? No, principal amount is 12,000 rupees, and what is the total payment made by the customer? Made is 3 installment of x rupees, so x plus x plus x, which is 3x rupees. So difference delta 3x minus 12,000 would be nothing but the interest paid, right? So if 3x is more than 12,000 rupees, so the difference between 3x and 12,000 rupees will be nothing but the interest paid by the customer for the loan amount of 12,000 rupees, right? This is the basic understanding. Now let us see first year. What is the principal? And what is the interest for the period? Period. First year, for the during the first year, the principal at the start of the first year is 12,000 rupees, right? 12,000. So what will be the interest? Interest will be nothing but 12,000 interest for the period. That is for, sorry, this is not first year, this is first month. Right. Interest for 1 month, that is for just for first month, will be P into R. R is 24% per annum, so that is 0.24 into T. T is 1 month, that is 1 by 12. Why are we doing 1 by 12? Because this 24 is in annum per annum terms, right? 24% per annum. So the time will also be in then in year. Or we can do, we can convert 24 into per month by dividing by 12. Then we will keep here only 1 month, right? So this will be nothing but this we can do here. This becomes we can solve this. This will be 12 2 ja, and this is 240 rupees, right? 240 rupees. Then during second month, what is the principal now? Principal will be 12,000 by the principal, but the customer has paid x rupees at the end of the first month. So for at the start of the second month, the outstanding principal will be 12,000 minus x only, because out of the total loan amount of 12,000, at the end of the first month, customer has paid first installment of x rupees. So at the start of the second month, the principal outstanding will be 12,000 minus x, and the interest will be what? 12,000 minus x into 0.24, and interest for the second during the second month will be again 1 by 12, right? So this becomes 240 minus 0.02x, right? And then again during third month, what will be the principal, outstanding principal at the start of the third month? See, at the start of the second month, principal was 12,000 minus x. At the, but what happens in simple interest, we know the principal remains same. However, since here the principal is being repaid, so at the end of the second month, the customer again pays an installment of X rupees. So the outstanding third month, beginning of the third month principal will be 12,000 minus 2x, right? This principal in the case of simple interest would have remained same. Why are we changing the principal in the simple interest case? That is because the customer is making some payment. So by that amount, the principal amount will get reduced, right? So it becomes 12,000 minus x here and 12,000 minus 2x here. And what will be the interest charged? That will be 12,000 minus 2x into 0.24 into, again this is for 1 month, that is for during third month. So this gives 240 minus 0.04x, right? So if we see the first interest, second month interest and third month interest, if we add this, upon adding it becomes 720 minus 0.06x. This is the interest paid for the 3 months, and that should be equal to what? Delta, that is 3x minus 12,000. So again, if we solve here, we will get x is equal to nothing but 4156.86 rupees. So this is also a method to solve. What we did, we calculated at the start what is the total interest paid during the month, during the period of the installment payment, and then we will calculate the interest, actual interest paid on the outstanding principal during each of the month, and then we will equate the two, right? So this way we can solve this. Now let us see another problem, and we'll try to even understand in a better way. Now let us see. So out of the two methods, which is more intuitive? I mean, to me, the method one is more intuitive, because I mean both the methods are one and the same thing if looked very meticulously. However, at the outset, prima facie, method one gives a more clearer picture of how the things are evolving, right? So let us see. Now again, uh, find the annual installment which will discharge a debt of rupees 8960 at 8% simple interest, which is to be cleared in 4 years, right? Which is to be cleared in 4 years. So here the question says find the annual installment. We have to find the installment amount which will discharge a date of. So what is the date means? Principal amount is 8960. Let us solve by method 1. 8960. Rate is 8% per annum, and that is simple interest, which is to be cleared in 4 years, and time is 4 years, and installment is annual installment, right? Annual installment. These things we should be careful. Now let us see method 1. Here we will again, let us say he has taken a loan from bank. So bank will open two accounts in the customer name, loan account and deposit account. In loan account, what happens? 8960 is the amount which bank has loaned, so let it be negative. And there is 4 installment. So time t is equal to 1, t is equal to 2, t is equal to 3, and t is equal to 4. So at the end of fourth period, we will look the overall position of the loan account and the deposit account. Let us see. At the end of first year, X amount is being deposited, right? At the end of second period, another X amount. At the end of third period, another X amount. At the end of fourth period, another X amount is being deposited. Now, X amount deposited at the end of first period, and we are looking at the position at the end of fourth year, right? So, from the end of first year, that is to the end of fourth year, it will be 3. So, the installment paid at the end of first year will earn an interest of x into r. R is 8% per annum, so that is 0.08. And since the installment is paid annual, so for 1 year, this is paid at the end of first year, and we are seeing the position at the end of fourth year. So this will earn interest for 3 years, right? For 3 years. Similarly, this x into 0.08, this will earn for 2 years. This will earn interest for 1 year, and this will not earn any interest. So total will be 4x plus 0.24, 0.16, 0.08. So that means if we add, this becomes 0.48x. And on left hand side, the value will be 8960. This will earn an interest for 4 years, right? Loan is taken for 4 years. So here it will be 8960 into 4 into 0.08, right? So this becomes this becomes 1.32, 1.32, 8 4 ja 32, so that is 0.32, and this 8960. So basically 8960 plus this interest amount, if we add, we get 8960 into 1.32, and this must be equal. So we can say that 4.48x will be 8960 into 1.32. From here we can say x is nothing but this will be, I think, let us use calculator. uh, 8960 into 1.32 divided by 4.48, 2640. So x value we get 2640. This is the answer, right? Again, we'll see this using method 2 also, but any methods we can choose. Let us see method 2. So same thing here, principal is 8960. So let us write, this is the time period, principal, and interest during period. So time is at first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Principal, starting principal is 8960. Interest will be what? 8960 into 0.08. And during, we are here interested to calculate the interest during first year, right? During first year. So 1. Now at the end of first year, x amount is being deposited as installment. So outstanding principal will be 8960 minus x, and principal interest on this principal for during second year will be 0.08 into 1. So this becomes that is nothing but 8960 into 0.08 will be 716.8 minus 0.08x. Then during third year, the principal will be 8960 minus 2x, because at the end of second year, another x amount is being deposited as an installment. So over this, 8960 minus 2x into 0.08 will be the interest during third year, which will be 716.8 minus 1.6x. 0.08. So this will be again 716.8 minus 2.4x. So total interest here becomes 716, 716.8 minus 0.8x, 716 minus 1.6x, and 716.8 minus 2.4x. So summation would be 4 into 716.8 minus 0.8, 1.6 is 1.08 plus 1.6 is 2.4, 2.4 is 4.8. So minus 4.8x. This will be nothing but delta will be what here 8 9, delta will be 4x amount minus 8960 interest. So this will be equal to 4x minus 8960. If we solve this, we will get the same value, which is 2640. So same way as we had done in question number 1. Now let us get back to another question. Here question says, if Kunal can purchase a plasma TV for 20,000 cash or 2,000 cash down payment and 4 monthly installment of 4,600 each. Find the rate of simple interest being charged. Right, rate of simple interest being charged. So let us see. Let us see how. Again, method 1. Here the known amount, known principal is what, 20,000 minus 2,000 down payment. So that is 18,000 rupees, right? And 4 monthly installments, right? 4 monthly installments. So let us see. This side loan account, this side deposit account. Four periods, so 4 monthly installment. T is equal to end of first month, T is equal to second month, T is equal to third month, T is equal to fourth month. And here the loan is 18,000 rupees, right? And deposits, let it be, and the monthly installment has been given 4,600. So 4,600, 4,600, 4,600, 4,600, right? We do it a bit fast. So what will be the value? What is the value? We have to find the value of R. So this will be nothing but 4,600. This is being deposited at the end of first period, and we are seeing the position at the end of fourth period. So this will earn interest for 3 periods, 3 months. So that becomes 4,600 into 1 plus R into 3 by 12, right? For 3 periods. This becomes 4,600 into 1 plus R into 2 by 12, and this becomes 4,600 into 1 plus R into 1 by 12, and this will remain the same. This will remain the same. So if we add everything, what will we get? If we add everything, we will get 4,600 into 4 plus this. If we add R into R by 4, R by 6 and R by 12, we will get R by 2, right? And this should be equal to the value here. Here the interest would be 18,000, and this is for 4 periods, because this loan has been given for 4 months, so this becomes r into 4 by 12. So basically the value here would be 18,000 into 1 plus r by 3, right? So basically this becomes 18,000 plus 6,000 r will be equal to 0046 या 24 to 18,400 plus 2,300 r. So if we solve this equation, we will get r is equal to nothing but 10.81%. Right. So this is the way we solve this question. Now again we see using method 2. What is the principal amount? Principal amount is 18,000 and total payment is 4 installments of 4,600 each. So this gives us 18,400. So total interest paid is nothing but 18,400 minus 18,000, which is equal to 400 rupees. Now again same way we will see what is the interest during first period. So that will be nothing but 18,000 into, for 1 month it will be r by 12, right? So this is nothing but 1,500 r. Then interest during second period will be what? 18,000 minus 4,600, which 4,600 has been paid as installment, into r by 12. So this becomes, on calculation, 1116.67 r. Then during third period, this will be 18,000 minus 2 into 4,600 into again r by 12, 1 month interest. So this is 733.33 r, and t is equal to 4. During fourth month, interest charged will be into r by 12. So this becomes 350 r. I mean, we can solve this on calculator and get this. So now if we add the first month interest, second month interest, third month interest, and fourth month interest, so if we add everything, we get 3,700 r, and this is equal to 400 which we had got starting. So from here if we solve, we get r is nothing but 10.81%, right? So this is the rate of interest, simple interest, for which the loan was sanctioned, right? Now let us move to question number 4. So now we have, I mean, for 3 examples we have seen the 2 methods. Now in this example, I just, for the sake of time, I will go through only one of the method. Let us see. Find the amount of debt that will be discharged by 5 equal annual installments of 5,800 each if the debt bears a rate of interest of 9% per annum, right? 9% per annum. So what is the total amount? So principal we have to find. So again we can do one thing. This is loan account. This is deposit account, right? We'll do it fast. So here 5 periods, 5 annual installment 5 years. So t is equal to 1 year, t is equal to 2, t is equal to 3, t is equal to 4, and t is equal to 5. First year annual installment is 5800. This will become 5800 into 1 plus, this will gain earn interest for 4 years because this is being deposited at the end of first year. So and we are checking the position at the end of fifth year. So for this 5800 will earn interest for 4 years. So 1 plus 4 into 9, so that becomes 0.36, right? Then again second installment of 5800 will become 5800 into 1 plus 0.27, right? 9 into 3 at the end of fifth year. Then third installment of 5800 will become 5800 into 1 plus 0.18 at the end of fifth year. Then fourth installment will become 5800 into 1 plus, fourth installment will only earn for 1 year, so that will be what, 0.09. And fifth installment of 5800 will remain 5800 at the end of fifth year. If we add everything, we get we get 5800 into 1 2 3 4 5 5 plus 0.36 0.27, this becomes 0.60 0.60 plus 0.18 0.78 0.78, sorry 6 it 0.18 0.09 0.27 0.27 0.27 0.54 0.54 0.36 becomes 0.90, so this becomes 0.90, right? Now here we do not know what is the loan amount, let it be x. So value of x at the end of fifth year will be nothing but x into 1 plus 0.09 into 5, right? And these two should be equal. So that is 1.45x will be equal to 5800 into 5.90. So if we solve, we get x is equal to nothing but 23,600. This is the answer to this question. Again, we can see that by method 2 also, but it remains the same. Concept remains basically the same. And we have seen 3 examples, so we can do so. Now let us move to question number 5, and herein we will now, so far we have been looking at the concept of simple interest. Now we will look into the concept of compound interest, right? Compound interest. So how to see? It is broadly the same, only thing that let us see. Let us see. Here Vijay borrowed a sum of 50,000 rupees at 12% per annum compounded at compound interest from a bank. If the money is to be repaid in 3 equal installments, each payable at the end of the year, then what is the value of each installment? Value of each installment. So let us say same technique we will use. So here deposit account, 3 installment and 3 annual installments, right? Annual. So T is equal to 1 year, T is equal to 2 year, and T is equal to 3 year. First year he deposits, we do not know X amount, let it be X amount, X amount, and the known amount is 50,000. 50,000. So now see, this X amount deposited at the end of first year, and we are looking at the position at the end of third year. So this X amount will earn a compound interest for 2 years, right? So what will be the value after 2 years? That will be nothing but X into 1 plus R by 100 raised to power 2. That is the compound interest formula, right? So here we can say X into R is 12%. So this becomes 1.12 whole square. Similarly, this will become, this is X is deposited at the end of second year. We are looking at the position at the end of third year. So this X will earn interest for 1 year. So this will be x into 1.12, and here this will be x only. If we add everything, we get x into 1.12 square plus 1.12 plus 1, right? And what will be the value of 50,000 after 3 years at compound interest, right? So this will be nothing but 50,000 into value of 50,000 after 3 years will be 1.12 raised to power 3 at compound interest, and these two should be equal, right? So if we solve this, we get, we can use a calculator here. Here this will be 3.3744x, and this is equal to 50,000 into 1.12 cube. From here we see x is equal to, right? So this is the answer to this question. This is the answer to this question. Now again, this was method 1. Now we will see method 2. See how the method 2 actually works here. What is the initial principal? 50,000, right? 50,000. So this will become 50 into 1.12. So let me write in a amount at the start of period, amount at start of period, and amount at end of period, and time is equal to say 1. First year start of period, the amount was 50,000. Amount at the end of period will be what? 50,000 into 1.12, right? 12% interest on this. Now see, amount at during second year, and at the end of first year x amount is being deposited, so the principal gets reduced by that amount. So 50,000, let this be 50,000 into 1.12 is equal to 56,000, right? This is the end of the period amount. However, x amount of installment is being paid, so the outstanding 56,000 minus x, right? This becomes the outstanding principal at the start of the period, and interest of 12% will be earned over this. So that will be nothing but 56,000 minus x into 1.12. Then during third period, start of the third period, 56,000 into 1.12 gives me 62,720 minus 1.12x, right? So here it is 62,720 minus, this would have been the amount at the beginning of period. However, there is a additional payment of x rupees, right, at the end of second period. So that becomes, here it is minus 2.12x, right? And interest and amount at the end of third period will be nothing but 62720 minus 2.12x into 1.12. So this becomes 70246.4 minus 1.12 into 2.12 gives me 2.3744, right? Or rather I write this 2.3744x. Now at the end of third period, further amount x is being deposited, so this will get further reduced by x. So finally what can we say, that 7246.4 minus 3.3744x, 2.3744x is there, and further deposit of x amount of installment at the end of third period will bring the final outstanding amount to 3.3744x reduce, and this should be zero, because at the end of the payment of the final, after payment of final installment, there should not be any amount due, so this should be zero. If we solve this, this will be same as this only. If we solve this, I just check here, 70,246.4 divided by 3.3744 gives me 20,000, x is equal to 20,817.45, right? So same as what we had got here. So this is another way of solving the question. So basically this method was same as what we have been doing so far. Herein we looked into the terms of final amount, and final amount will get changed basis the interest earned during that period. And what is the interest earned, that depends upon the outstanding principal at the start of the period. Outstanding principal at the start of the period will get adjusted with the amount of installment being paid, right? So using this concept we have solved this question. Now let us see question number 6 again. No, I mean similar nature only. Arif lent a certain sum to Tanvi at 10% per annum compound interest. Here, if the money is to be repaid by Tanvi in 3 equal annual installment of 15,000 rupees, each payable at the end of the year, then what is the value of the sum borrowed originally? So let the sum borrowed be loan amount is X and deposit amount. Annual installment, 3 annual installment. So T is equal to 1, T is equal to 2, T is equal to 3. Annual installment of 15,000 at compound interest 15,000 and 15,000. We will look at the position at the end of third year. So this will become 15,000 into 1. This will earn interest for 2 years. 1 point, rate of interest is 10%. So 1.1 square, right? Using the formula of compound interest, this will become 15,000 into 1.1, and this will remain 15,000. So basically, if we add the 3, we get 15,000 into 1.1 square plus 1.1 plus 1, and this side, this x will become x into 1.1, or let us assume p here, because principal usually we denote by p into 1.1 raised to power 3. So if we equate this, p becomes this becomes 15,000 into 3.31 upon 1.1 cube. This becomes 1.331. If we solve this, we get original principal as 37,302.78, right? Now if we see method 2, method 2 also it will have the similar. Now we will do it directly, but here I do not know. Let us see whether method 2 will be useful. Initial amount we do not know, P, right? P into 10%, right? So amount becomes 1.1. Then payment of 15,000. This again will become 1.1 times during the second year, and end of the second year another payment of 15,000 will reduce this, and this whole amount will again become 1.1 times at the end of third year, and last payment of 15,000 will reduce this, and this will be 0, right? So if we solve this, so it will be nothing but 1.1 QP minus 15,000 into 1.1 square plus 1.1 plus 1 is equal to 0. So from here if we solve P, again we get the same thing, that is 37,302.78. How did I write this in one step? I mean, see, understanding is very simple. We started with a principal of 1. This principal becomes 1.1 times at the end of first year, right? At the end of first year. Then at the end of first year, an installment payment came by 15,000. So the outstanding amount due to the bank will reduce by 15,000. So now this is the amount due to the bank at the beginning of the second year, and during the year it will earn an interest of compound interest and becomes 1.1 times at the end of second year, and at the end of second year 15,000 is being repaid, so it will get reduced by that amount. Now this amount will again become 1.1 times at the end of third year, and after reducing the 15,000 of repayment it becomes 0, right? So here again if we solve this we get the answer as 37,302.78 paise. So this is the one. Now one last example we will see. Here OnePlus has launched a new phone priced at rupees 45,000. As a promotional scheme, a customer can buy it in cash at 45,000 or 5,000 cash down payment, followed by 3 monthly equal monthly installments. If rate of interest charged is 12% per annum compound interest, calculate the monthly installment. Again, so let us see by method 1 here. So monthly installment, let it be, and time is equal to 1, 3 monthly installment. This is in month. So X is the payment here. So this first installment will become X into 1 plus 12% per annum, right? For for 2 months. This will earn will earn interest for 2 months. So that will be what? 12 by 2. So that becomes 0.6. So that is nothing but, or we can say that 12% per annum. So we can say this as a 1% per month. So for 2 months this will be 0.02, right? This will earn interest for 1 month. So X into 1.01, and this becomes X, remains X only. If we add, we get X into 3.03, and right hand side the outstanding was 45,000 was the cost price, 5,000 was the down payment, so the loan principal was 40,000 only, 40,000. And this becomes, after, what is the value of 40,000 after 3 years at 12% per annum compound interest? So that becomes 40,000 after 3 months, sorry, 3 months. So it is 1% per month. So for 3 months it will be 3%. So it becomes 1.03 times. Sorry, 1.01, it is 3. Oh, here also I have done a mistake. See, in compound interest we do 1 per month interest is 1%. So we have to calculate for 3 months. So 1.01 raised to power, this is for 2 months, right? This will earn amount, this x will earn interest for 2 months. So this will be x into 1.01 raised to power 2. Now, because this is a compound interest case, this x will earn 1.01 raised to power 1, and this x will earn 1, yeah. So here it becomes 3.0301, right? So upon solving, x we will get as 13,600.88, right? Same we will see method 2. So method 2 is same. I mean, we started with 40,000. This will become what? One in during 1 month it will earn an interest of 1.01, and then payment of x. Then further this will become 1.01, another payment of x. This again whole will become 1.01, and then another payment of x, and this should be equal to 0. So this again becomes the same thing, 40,000 into 1.01 cube is equal to, here x is 1.01 square plus 1.01 plus 1. So that is nothing but 40,000 into 1.01 cube is equal to x into 3.0301. So from here we can say x is nothing but 13,600.88, right? So this is the answer to this question. So we have seen quite a number of questions upon this installment basis, and the basic understanding I believe is clear enough. Any query you can get back to us. Thanks for watching this video.